Everyone is talking about the meta loadouts against Cyborgs right now, but what if you bring the Bastion? The TD-220 Bastion, is it actually strong, or is it just a rolling coffin? Today we're putting the Bastion to the test, currently on Cyberstan. And I don't want to speculate too much, but if we fail here, the Cyborgs won't stay on one planet. They will build mega factories elsewhere, and if this front spreads, the environment won't really change. So what we're testing today isn't just for Cyberstan, it's for the Cyborg front. After all, Arrowhead promoted the tank against automatons in its video. Let's see if this thing survives and if it's actually worth bringing. Before we go deep into this, is it actually worth bringing the Bastion against Cyborgs? Short answer, yes, but only if you know what you're doing. It demands fast reactions, good positioning, and real team awareness. If you don't have those, you're wasting a stratagem. Now let's break down why. Let's talk about positioning. This is the most important thing if you want the tank to actually survive. First, call it down immediately after landing. You want that cooldown ticking as soon as possible. On Cyberstan, I strongly recommend calling it down outside the city. The open terrain gives you space. Inside the city, you're boxed in. If you're calling it down for the second time inside the city, make sure the area is clear and flat. No enemies, no rockets, no surprise Vox Engines. Do not start attacking until you have at least a driver and a gunner. A solo tank is a dead tank. Before pushing into the city, break the gates, then keep your range. Don't rush in. First, snipe turrets. Second, remove immediate threats. Hulks, War Striders, Rocket Devastator. Only after that should you work on objectives. The city is full of obstacles and tight angles. Have at least one teammate covering your back and sides, especially against explosive units. You can approach objectives, but only if turrets, heavy units, and anything with explosives are already cleared. Use buildings as cover, play corners, reverse if needed, and if things start getting out of control, back off. One or two teammates should cover the tank with orbitals, grenades, or heavy weapons when you are fleeing. Never leave the tank alone. Bots will focus it first. If you really need a distraction, lure mines can help. Positioning wins fights. Overconfidence kills the tank. Now, how do you actually fight Cyborgs with the tank? Let's start with the smaller units. Radicals first. The smoke they throw at you, completely harmless, but their shotgun is not. If they get close and they hit the right angle, they have medium armor penetration. That means they can damage the tank individually, not scary, up close, from behind, multiple at once. That's where it becomes a problem. The good news is you delete them with the HMG, fast, clean. The real danger is silent flanks from behind. But honestly, you should hear them coming. If you don't, that's on you. Agitators are more dangerous. Their normal shots won't damage the tank, but their overcharged shot absolutely can, and their grenade can hurt you badly too. And here's the bigger issue: synergy. If they're near rocket devastators, they can buff them. Movement speed is confirmed. Accuracy, not officially confirmed, but it feels like it. And buffed rockets around a tank, that's serious damage. Luckily, agitators prefer staying at range, which makes them easy targets for the HMG. Remove them first, always, because if you let them live, they multiply the threat level of everything around them. The Vox Engine is a different beast. There's only one thing that doesn't hurt you: the miniguns. They only have light penetration. They cannot damage the tank. Everything else absolutely can. The rocket volley and the main cannons will shred you. The moment you see a Vox Engine, think positioning. Always fight near a corner, or make sure you have space to back off. The rocket volley is predictable, the ground glows. You can either reverse or push closer underneath it to avoid the impact. But the main cannon, you can't really dodge that in open terrain. If you're not using cover, you're gambling. Destroying a Vox Engine is not quick. You need at least 2 to 3 shots from the 120mm cannon. That can take 15 to 20 seconds. That is a long time here. If there are multiple Vox Engines around you, you are cooked. To speed things up, between reloads, use the HMG to fire at the treads to damage it further. If teammates are outside the tank, they must focus it with ultimatums or anti-tank options. The tank can handle a Vox Engine, but it is never a free fight. Let's talk about strengths and weaknesses against the Cyborgs. First, the strengths. If you use the tank well, it keeps you alive. You avoid ragdolling, You stay stable, you stay in control. From range, especially from the gate, you can snipe multiple objectives before even entering the city. That's huge. You have 30 main cannon shots. That's easily 10 Vox Engine kills, if you're accurate. The HMG can absolutely mow down radicals and other smaller units, and there are a lot of them. And don't forget, the tank is mobile cover. Your teammates can use it as protection while pushing objectives. Now, the weaknesses. If you're not skilled or your team isn't coordinated, this becomes a wasted stratagem slot. You need at least 2 players working together smoothly, driver and gunner, and sometimes it's just bad luck. A Vox engine spawns the moment you call it down. You get stuck on a tiny obstacle, or a hidden turret starts chipping you from an angle you can't even see. And when things stack up, the tank can disappear fast. Now, the optimal loadout for running the Bastion against Cyborgs. First of all, if you're committing to the tank, bring at least 2 Bastions in the squad. The cooldown is long. If the first one dies and nobody else has it, you will have to wait. Next, smoke is extremely valuable here. If you need to reposition or flee, or if turrets start chipping you from weird angles, smoke lets you reset the fight. Now, something people forget. You still need anti-tank outside the vehicle, ultimatums, orbital laser, Gatling barrage. Because if multiple Vox engines spawn, the tank alone won't save you. If your team can't constantly cover your flanks, then sentries can help, but hide them well. Vox engines can delete exposed sentries instantly. That's how you make it work. So, is the Bastion worth bringing against Cyborgs? Yes, but not for everyone. If your positioning is bad, if your team doesn't coordinate, or if you panic when Vox engines spawn, this thing becomes a very expensive coffin. But if you keep distance, clear turrets first, and respect the charged shots and rocket volleys, the Bastion can absolutely dominate the Cyborg front. It's not overpowered, it's not useless, it's high risk, high reward. If this helped you decide whether it's worth bringing, leave a like. It really helps the channel, and if you want more tests like this, subscribe. See you in the next one.